Hello, welcome back to the F's to A's program. This is your host, Tim Postal, and today I am going to share my secrets to journaling and expressing gratitude. Now, journaling is an excellent habit to pick up, and it's something I did on my journey from F's to A's. And I'm going to share with you exactly how you can express gratitude in your journal to feel more fulfilled, live a happier life, live with more joy in your life and appreciation. And I'm also going to share my super crazy journaling technique that I'm really excited to share with you. And so the first thing I'm going to share is the gratitude journal. Now, you could make your gratitude journal sticky notes, sticky note lists. You could throw them out, whatever. I just want you to get into the habit of once a day, at least once a day, writing 10 things you're grateful for. So these don't have to be specific things. It can be very specific on when you're making your list of gratitude. It could be, I like the smell of gasoline today when I was filling up my car. Or, I really like that. I was really grateful that woman stopped me and mentioned how nice my hair looked. Or it could be being grateful for a cup of water, or your journal itself, or your pride in how far you've come on your to-do list. It can be anything, absolutely anything you can think of. It can make it in your gratitude journal. So right now, as a practice, I want you to get out a pen, sheet of paper, and write down 10 things you're grateful for. Get a journal. If you don't have one, pick one up for $1 at Walmart, or go to Target, pick one up. Write down 10 things you're grateful for. That's it. And if you really want to go extra hard on this gratitude, you want to be the gratitude superstar, this is the thing that I do to this day. So morning, noon, and night. Each period, go to your gratitude journal and write 10 things you're grateful for. You're like, morning, noon, or night, that's 30 things. Yeah. And you're going to get into the habit. It might be hard to come up with 10 things at first. Or maybe it's easy. Maybe it's cake for you to come up with what you're grateful for. But I found in myself that it was harder to do the gratitude journal when I first got into it, or when I took breaks from doing it. But the more you do it, the easier it's going to become, the more joy you're going to feel in your life, and the more appreciation you'll have for the little things and the small moments and the present moment in your day-to-day life. So morning, noon, and night, each period, write 10 things you're grateful for. So at the end, you should have 30 things you're grateful for. And maybe you're not by your notebook all the time. Maybe you won't have your gratitude journal around noon. Maybe you'll be in the office. Maybe you'll be out at lunch with friends. I want you to think of them in your head. You can think of them in your head and just picture the 10 things you're grateful for. The blue sky. Ooh, the sound of the birds. Oh, the pleasant breeze in the air. whatever it is, right? Just wherever you are, you can do it. You can even tell a friend if you're in the middle of a conversation. You say, hey, can I tell you 10 things I'm grateful for right now? Maybe ask them, what are they grateful for after? Make it a habit at dinner. What were the highs and lows of your day? What were you most grateful for? The more gratitude you start incorporating into your day-to-day life, the better you're going to feel. Now, we're on to the next journaling phase. This is my crazy journaling that I do. And I got this tip from a book. I believe it's called Writing Down the Bones. And if I got that wrong, I will try and find it and list it in the link below this video. But it's a book, and it has a bunch of different writing tips, but it also has journaling tips. And one of her tips was, for 3 full pages, just journal your thoughts. And guess what? The words don't have to make sense. The words can be spelled wrong. And it doesn't have to be neat. It can be messy. And the words can be as big as you want. You could literally, if you wanted to write this, you could write broccoli, kale, lettuce on 3 pages, and you would have accomplished your journaling for that day. But I would usually make a date. I'd write down the date at the top, and then I would just journal about my day. I would write, and then I'd go over, and I'd write, and I'd write, and I'd write, and I'd write, and I'd write some more. And then I'd go over to the final page, and I'd write, 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 and I'd write some more, till I filled up those 3 pages. And if you look at some of my journals, it kind of looks like this. It looks like a bunch of scribble scrabble. It looks like freaking Hannibal Lecter's journal, like some insane person just like wrote in this journal. It's really crazy, and that's fine. And it's fine if you want to keep your journal neat too. Either way, this is something, and it could be something where some days you're writing in this like nice fancy cursive, looking all sexy and fancy, and other days you're like, fuck this shit, blah, 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 letting out all your feelings in your journal. And when you do this journaling, it's gonna feel so good. You're gonna feel so at ease. And a lot of times right after you do it, especially if you do it in the evening, you'll like want to doze off right to sleep after. You'll say, the day's complete. And sometimes it's good to journal about your successes and failures of the day. What could have gone, what you could have done better, what are you going to do tomorrow to achieve that, how can you overcome this obstacle. And yeah, so you can literally write whatever you want, but if you want to create a topic one day, do that too. I that's what I would do a lot. I'd try and find a moral in my day, write about it. And I'd also write about my successes and failures and how I could improve on them and get better and excel and go above and beyond the next day. And I also, in my journal, I had a thing where I would map out the next day's activities in time blocks. and this is something extra, you don't have to do this, but it helped me, where I would mark out every single hour of the day and I'd make little time blocks for each hour. So like 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. deep work, studying, maybe 11 p.m. to 12 p.m. lunch, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. reading, and so on. And I'd create these time blocks of when I was going to do things throughout the day. So that way I wasn't wasting time. I was being more time efficient throughout the day. And I was going like boom, 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 from one thing to the next, bam, 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 action, 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 action. And I was just crushing my goals. And I'd like to see the same happen to you. So if you want to go the extra mile, add that the time blocks to your journal. And then, so those were 3 things we talked about. We talked about creating the gratitude journal and doing the end of day journal where you're writing about whatever you want for 3 pages. It can be messy, sloppy, neat, however you want. And then the third thing we talked about, setting goals and mapping out your next day. And when you're setting those goals, when you're making those time blocks, try and make it so the things that are highest on your priority list are at the beginning of your day, the beginning of your list. Because here's what's going to happen. If you try and do your hardest task at the end of the day, it ain't going to happen. I'm telling you, I've been there, I've done it. It's probably not going to happen. So get that hard thing done first. And after you do it, you're going to get to like the afternoon and you'll be like, man, it feels like the whole day has been completed already. I feel like I've done so much. I feel so accomplished. And then you're going to do so much more. And you're going to have fun. And you're going to love these days. And you're going to love the gratitude journal. And you're going to love the regular journaling of the 3 pages. And you're going to love doing the time blocks and setting your goals. So the ASAP action of today's video is to start a gratitude journal and start journaling for at least 3 full pages a day and start writing your goals down the night before and mapping out your time blocks. And after you've started doing these, you have permission to move on to the next video. I'll see you next time. Peace.